Today I want to run through the top automations that I use within my business that are helping me build $1 million company without any staff. Hey, how's it going? Ryan Caswell here from b2bleads.com. Today I want to go over some of the main automations that I'm using in my business that are really helping me scale without having to hire lots of people to help me manage the business. So first I wanted to get into what automation is, touch a little bit on why you need to automate. So 3 key things I really want to go over to start with, and that's why you would automate, when you would automate, and of course, how to automate things within your business. I know a lot of people see automation as this big mysterious thing. You need to be some sort of high-tech developer in order to automate systems and processes. But these days, the tools available make it so easy to do. Anyone could literally do it. You don't need to be a developer. You just need to know how to think like a developer would. So first, why would you automate in your business? So you wouldn't always automate things. It really just does depend. But the main reason you would automate is because you can use things like computers to do tasks for you, to reduce your time, because you can pay a computer a lot less than you would. So if you can pay someone a lot less than you would pay yourself to run a task, it makes your time far more valuable. It makes your business far more scalable. So that should be the first obvious reason. You can get computers to do things, for the most part, a lot cheaper than you can do them yourself. So that's the first reason you want to automate things. When to automate? So in terms of hierarchy, whenever you need to do something within your business, you should really ask yourself this question: do I need to do this? If you don't need to do it, get rid of the task. A lot of businesses are running tasks and activities, and they can't safely say whether it's even adding value to the business or not, or whether it's just a cost. So be very analytical, understand the time you're spending on each activity and whether it's providing a good enough return. And if it's not, then get rid of it. You should always get rid of things before you even look to automate them if they're not adding true value to your company. Next, if you can't get rid of it, then you should try and automate it. Only if the automation cost is going to be less than the cost of doing it yourself or getting someone else to do it, which comes to my next point, which is of course delegation. If you can't automate it, you want to delegate it to someone whose time is less valuable than what you want yours to be. And then if you can't do that, then last, you have to do it yourself. But we want to be automating things fairly high up in terms of hierarchy. So if we can get rid of it, get rid of it. But if we can automate it, then we want to be automating absolutely everything we can within our businesses. And there are a lot of things that we can within our businesses, and I want to share some of those with you today. And finally, how? So a lot of people don't realize how simple it actually is, and there's some great tools. I'll only talk about one today, because this one's kind of the easiest one to use, great entry level, made for anyone to be able to use, and it's called Zapier. Now, Zapier lets you do really cool things, but at its core, it basically lets you set up if this, then that. So if you want to run an automation in your business, an automation is generally driven by one of 2 things. It's driven by an action, reaction. So an automation will happen based on something else driving that to happen. So it's one of 2 actions are the core ones you're going to be looking at. It's going to be either some sort of action has been taken prior, which will drive that automation, or it's driven by a time trigger, which is kind of an action, but it's more, well, the action is time dependent, whether that's a daily activity or a weekly task or a quarterly task. It's an automation that runs based on a time trigger. So in Zapier, you can set up things like time triggers, daily automations that run based on daily time triggers, weekly time triggers. You can set up a whole bunch of different ones, or you can do them based on actions. So for instance, if someone fills out a form online, then you can say, if someone fills in this form, then I want you to run a bunch of activities within my business. And I'll talk about some that I use in my business in just a minute that depend very heavily on forms. And I just want to iterate here that you do not need to be a developer to do these things. In a future video, if you want to leave a comment and you're interested to see how to actually use Zapier and how simple it is to do, then just put a comment below, and I'll, if there's enough people interested, I'll definitely put something together. But it really is as simple as saying, all right, if something happens over here, I'm going to select that thing and say, this thing has happened. And then in Zapier, you can choose which application you want something else to happen in, and you can take the information that was entered in over here. So the main time trigger driven tasks that I use in my business are ones that are creating jobs for me on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, so that I don't need to think about when I have to do things. The more you have the ability to clear up thought in the day and reduce the amount of thinking you have to do so you can just focus on things that actually require your thought, the more you're going to be able to focus on high level activities that provide a lot more value to you in terms of income. So I have daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly driven tasks, and they all feed basically the jobs that I need to do regularly into Trello. So I use Trello as my project management system. And the way that works is it creates these things called cards in these columns for what I need to do today. So this one might be, sales call planning, and it creates all these cards. And within each of these cards, it has the standard operating procedures. Even though it's me giving me jobs for myself, I put everything in terms of standard operating procedures. So first of all, I don't need to think, everything's there for me. And at any point, if I need to delegate these tasks in the future, everything's written up and ready to go. I don't have to go back and try and remember how, everything is set up. So do the same thing for weekly and monthly tasks, but they feed into what I need to do today. So these are tasks that are driven by time, but then a huge component of what I automate in my own business is onboarding. So when you onboard new clients, typically there's a lot of setup that needs to be done when a client starts up. You need, generally you do take an onboarding survey to get a lot of information that you need to get the project started. And you need to set up all the resources, folders, and things like that, set meetings, set tasks that need to be completed by certain dates. So long as you can map all this out quite neatly, you can pretty much have everything driven by your intake form. So someone fills in a form, say that's a Google form, MailChimp, Chimp survey, I can't remember the other one. So people fill in a form, and then once they submit that form, that then goes to Zapier. And then this is where it's really cool. You can then say, all right, I need to email the client. I need to set up a folder in my Google Drive or my Dropbox folder. I need to set up all these resources in that folder. I need to take the information that they've entered into this survey here and then put it here, here, and here. I need to send this to a copywriter. I need to send this to my VA to set this up. I need to book this meeting. This is the job that needs to be done by this time based on when they've done this. All this admin stuff that adds up and takes, hours of your day can all be automated and makes your time just so much more valuable and makes you personally far more scalable in terms of your capacity to earn more in the year. So that's kind of one of the main ones that lifts a lot of the time off my belt. That and content marketing. So for example, this video is something that I'd have to record, but there's a lot of tasks that happen on the back end. Like I've got a team that handle all the YouTube keyword researching, and then also help me with the actual posting and putting it on YouTube. And then I need another, my VAs to then post it on LinkedIn. And there's a whole bunch of tasks. And I really just want to focus on creating the video. So then what I do is I create a video, I put it in a folder, I give it to my, my YouTube guy, and then the YouTube guy fills out a form with all the information about when it's scheduled and things like that. And then that creates all the tasks for the VAs and all the dates that things need to be posted in order to keep, the social media gods happy and at bay. So there's just so much potential. And you can probably tell I get very excited about this. Automation is just one of those things that is just the low-hanging fruit within a lot of businesses to just really leverage and make things far more profitable. So I know it was all very high level today, and I didn't really get into the actual nuts and bolts of it, but I just wanted to get you excited about automating in your business, basically tell you how simple it is. Seriously, get a free account with Zapier and start having a play around. Have a think about one simple thing you could automate in your business, have a go at it, and then when you see how easy it is, I'm sure you're gonna get some momentum and start building out some more automations and making more money today. Anyway, I hope that has been helpful. Any questions, let me know. And as always, have a great day. Cheers.